So I want to offer a little practice using a brick in as many different variations as I can, simply to contract the muscles, to work on the little supporting muscles in the ankles, the knees, the hips, and to make you wobble. It's my favourite thing if you come to my classes, is to try and knock one off balance, otherwise you're not really challenging yourself physically, mentally, all of those things. So I'm going to ask you, you will need one brick, or two bricks if you have them, but one brick is fine. You could try with a pile of books, or if you don't have any of those things, just do it on the ground, it doesn't matter, you don't actually have to have a brick. Come to stand on your right foot, on your brick, spreading the toes out, and just start to have a little bit of movement there. So you might bend the standing leg, and just see what that feels like. It could feel really challenging, or maybe okay. If it's okay, I will find a spot that is less than okay, hopefully for you. Then we'll start to sway. So we sway the foot forward and backwards, and all the muscles in the body will have to recalibrate in order to kind of hold you in. The core, you could start to pause. So you kick the leg forward, you find a little pause, you kick the leg back. Or you might just be doing smaller movements. Play around like that for a little while. You could start bending a knee. And then we'll come up to standing and do a couple of big circles with that left knee out to the side. A couple of big circles in one direction and a couple in the other. Try and keep a good bend in your standing leg. And then next time you come round, let's bend the standing knee, a bit of a challenge. Cross your lifted leg up and over into a hip opener pose. So push the bum right out behind you. You can have your hands on your leg, or you can have them outstretched, whatever you prefer to do, but really get the release into the glute, into the hip, the pelvis, and breathe into it. You can give your foot a little squeeze at the same time. Okay, lift yourself back up. We'll do a little bit of just swaying in a non-linear form, so you shoot the foot all the way around in circles. And if you fall off, that's fine. The right leg will hopefully be starting to feel it soon. Good, then step that foot back, flex the foot that you've got on the brick, little bend in your standing leg, and just fold over your right leg. So a few breaths into that hamstring, that calf, if you need to move the foot around a little bit, the ankle, the toes. And then you could always extend your arms up and out behind you. Perfect, and coming back up to standing, and let's change sides. So standing with your left foot, bending and straightening. You can go really slow, really quick, there's no right way to do it. Just fiddle about and see how it feels. And it's also not always trying to make everything feel good and enjoyable, or again, there's no challenge. So get to the points that don't feel so great. If it's pain, avoid. If it's challenge, have a little play against the edge of it, see how that feels. So swaying forwards and backwards, perhaps those pauses, setting yourself off balance. And then come back to a more central point. Let's do a couple of big circles with that knee. And they might be messy circles or even squares, big or small. And then we'll change direction. See if you can knit the hips in so you've got that control of your core. And then we'll come to your hip and glute release from the work on the other side. Push the bum out behind you. If you're really struggling with balance, come off the brick or come and use a wall. Ooh. Go, breathe into that left thigh, that right thigh, sorry. That right glute, a little bit of length in your lower back, but never tucking your tailbone. That's a big no. And then release, step that right foot back, flex your left foot, and fold forward. And you can have your hands, down and on your thigh and kind of in the areas of sensation where you touch and where you focus on is where your energy goes, your breath could go there. Move the foot around if that needs a little release, and then perhaps a couple of breaths with the arms extended, the fingertips part of the pose, and trying to create a sense of like ownership of the space. Okay, and then rolling back up. Have a little shake out, especially with the legs, shake the arms, maybe stamp your feet. And then the next bit, asking you to pick the brick up and bring the brick up in between your thighs, probably width height, and you're going to squeeze the brick in between the thighs. In the type of yoga that I teach, there's a lot of extending out, which is lovely if you have the strength first. So you need the contraction of the muscles, and really important, contraction of the muscles first to then move safely out and release into the body. But without the contraction, you risk damaging. So this is to encourage contraction of the thighs inwards. Extend the arms perhaps out in front of you, sink down really nice and low. You could sweep the arms a couple of times. And next time you come up, you could lift up onto your tiptoes and down a couple of times, all the while squeezing the bricks in towards the midline. You could try doing a one-legged chair, and perhaps bending and straightening the standing leg for a few moments, really working into the muscles around that knee and ankle. Again, you've got to be your own guide, see whether that feels okay. Change sides when you need to. Good, and then lift yourself up. I'm going to grab 2 bricks now, but if you only have one, or you have a stack of books, you could just do one side at a time. Extend your arms wide out to the side, and just lift and drop. I'm not really a weight person, as you can tell by the size of my weights. I'm not really a gym goer, but if you are, you can add to the weight of these, and you're just, again, using the contraction of the muscles. Then grip hold of the bricks, or the book, and rotate the palms all the way around, keeping the arms as straight and as extended as you can. For me, there's a good burn there. Okay, drop that brick down. Bring the brick in between your hands and press the hands in towards each other, and extend your bricks out in front of you as much as you can. That real press in, and then bend your elbows and straighten, getting into the triceps at the back of the arm, the rhomboids, shoulders. Okay, lift all the way up. Oh, even there I can really feel it. Lift all the way up, and then bend the elbows and drop the brick down behind the back of the neck. A couple of times, squeezing in. Perfect. And then when you can't do any more, a couple of circles, but with the brick in between your hands, which for me feels really constricting, but it means again you're contracting the muscles. A couple, 1 or 2 big circles in each direction. Okay, and then let go of the brick, which I'm longing to do. Okay, from there, bring your feet wide, and you can turn the toes out a little bit, and just move the hips, the lower back, shake the arms out if they need it, and sway from side to side, perhaps coming up onto the lifted heel. And then let's drop the hands down and just continue that movement around the space. So there's a fiddle about working into your body, different shapes. No right shape and no wrong shape. Just trying to get a little bit of movement, having had that contraction in those stronger poses. Good, let's shuffle the feet in. Place the hands anywhere on the body. Actually, let's do one more move before we finish. So now, having had that contraction of the arms in, holding the brick, if you reach your arms up, allow a breath in, and as you exhale, some big circles with both arms. Play around with loads of different movements of the arms. So you might have the hands very close together for a bit, and then they could come far apart. You could really sink down to a squat position. You can turn. Use the elbows as well. And then whenever you want to change direction, whenever you're ready, then change. Little back bends. Good, and come all the way up and extend the arms out behind you, lift the chest. And as you exhale, bend the knees, round the back of the hands come in towards each other. Just repeating some version of that, release through the spine. Okay, and then let's finish. Coming up to standing, placing your hands anywhere on the body that feels intuitive. Closing the eyes for a moment. See if you can steady your heart rate with your breath. Perhaps the breath count could come to 3 or even 4 for the inhale. A pause at the top. And then 3 or 4 for the exhale. Where are you holding tension? How are the shoulders? How's the neck, the jaw? How are those little muscles around the eyes? Are they tense and tight? Could they soften? Just noticing the pulsations or the sensations that your body has after that movement. And then a breath in. Maybe a sigh out. Thank you.